I'm an asshole for breaking up with my boyfriend because of religion. My boyfriend and I came from the same religious backgrounds, but I wasn't as religious as him. After 2 years of dating, we decided to meet each other's families. My parents absolutely adored him, but his didn't. His sister was always super weird towards me. She made multiple comments about the way I dress and would eye me up and down all the time. Every time I had dinner with them, there was always a snarky comment about me not being super religious. My boyfriend tried to defend me, but it was useless. It didn't take me long to realize that his sister was jealous that my family didn't force me into being religious or into a certain dress code. I obviously had enough and said, in front of the whole table, that if she was jealous that I actually had a choice in my life, that's on her, and she shouldn't take it out on me. She ran out crying. My boyfriend blamed me. I told him I accepted his toxic behavior for way too long and said it'll just continue into marriage. He said that it wouldn't. I asked him how he knew that. He confessed that he was going to start convincing me slowly into being more religious, so his kids would have a good example. I asked if I wasn't religious, does that make me a bad mom? He said yes. I broke up with him.
Am I the asshole for wanting my mom to be in the delivery room when my wife has our baby? My wife, Alice, 28 female, is 7 months pregnant. She's starting to think about who she'd like to have in the delivery room when the time comes. She said she would really like her dad there for support. Alice is really close with her dad since she was a kid and has only grown closer to him since her mom died. So that was no surprise. I'm completely fine with having Doug there. She said she doesn't want her stepmom there, which is fine. Her stepmom is really sweet, has been so helpful through the entirety of the pregnancy, and I know she will be hurt when she finds out she can't be there, but I can understand. The issue I have is that Alice doesn't want my mom there. My mom has never been my wife's biggest fan, but she is so excited to have a grandchild and has been planning on being in the delivery room the entire pregnancy and likely before. Like I said, my mom has been hard on Alice and can be a little judgmental, but she's still the grandmother of our child and wants to be there. She's also my mother, and I find it unfair that she can have her dad there, but I can't have my mom there. It's a high-risk pregnancy, and Alice has been really adamant about trying to give birth naturally, but she claims that if things take a turn and she wants an epidural or there needs to be an emergency C-section for whatever reason, she is worried about the judgment from my mom because my mom has openly expressed her distaste for both. Additionally, she says my mom is not the nicest to her. I know my mom has been a little harsh about her weight gain, even though about 30 pounds. She was 120 before. Allegedly, when my wife went over to my parents' house recently, she dropped a plate on the floor and my mom yelled at her while she made her get down on the floor and clean it up.
Oh my gosh.
I understand where Alice is coming from, and while she'll be the one giving birth, he is my child as much as hers, and I feel like I should be allowed to have my mom there. My wife and I got into a scuffle about this before she started crying, and the issue was dropped. She told me that I was being selfish, but I feel like she was being selfish too. Am I the asshole for wanting my mom to be in the delivery room while my wife has our baby?
Honestly, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I think my sister-in-law's best friend is trying to get with my 25 female husband, 28 male, and she's encouraging it. Am I delusional? My sister-in-law, 23 female, is my husband's half-sister. She was the product of their mother's infidelity. My father-in-law refused to have anything to do with my sister-in-law, but continued to have a relationship with my husband.
Damn.
Because of this, my sister-in-law is very clingy to my husband. My husband is also very protective of his sister and generally doesn't tolerate anything negative being said about her. My husband and I bought a house last year, which has its own indoor swimming pool. My sister-in-law was super excited when she saw it and asked if she could use it sometimes with her friend. We said it was fine, as long as she gave us a notice before she turned up. Her and her friend Chloe have used it many times before, but almost never when my husband is home. With lockdown, my husband has started to work from home. My sister-in-law asked me if she and Chloe could come over and use the pool. I told her I was uncomfortable with them coming over as I'm pregnant and don't want to accidentally expose the baby to anything risky. My sister-in-law then asked if she and Chloe quarantined for 2 weeks, would they be able to come over? My husband said it was fine. 2 weeks later, they turn up to my house. My husband was in his office, so they go straight to the pool after making small talk. My husband ends up coming out after an hour, and we're hanging out in the kitchen. My sister-in-law walks in to get a drink, and she starts talking to my husband. Before she goes back to the pool, she says, "Chloe's going to be so happy to see you." It was weird because my husband and Chloe aren't close. Chloe comes into the kitchen 2 minutes later and spends the rest of her time talking to my husband until he excuses himself to get back to work. She's super giggly and smiley when she talks to him. He would say something sarcastic and she would laugh like it was the funniest joke she's ever heard. It honestly felt like she was flirting with him. Before she went back to the pool, she gave me this weird, smirky look. Before they leave, they ask my husband if he's working from home every day of the week. He confirms he is. The next 2 weeks, they come over to the house to swim every single day, except Chloe never gets in the water. Instead, she hangs around the house in her bikini. Whenever my husband comes out to hang around me, she quickly interrupts him and keeps him talking until he has to go back to work. I made lunch for us all, and when I excused myself to call my husband down, my sister-in-law quickly stopped me and said Chloe could call him for me. They shared a look, and Chloe looked really happy when she went to get him. Chloe also started to get touchier with my husband. She put her hands on his chest and arms, stands or sits really close to him. To my husband's credit, he does usually create space between them whenever she does something like this. The reason I believe my sister-in-law is in on this is because she's made a few pregnancy-related jabs at me recently. She told me a story about how one of her friends' boyfriends was cheating on her, and then something along the lines of, quote, "Did you know a lot of men start cheating when their wives are pregnant?" She's also made comments about how I look chubby now, and it looks weird next to my husband because he's well built. I know pregnancy hormones can mess with a person's brain, so I'm wondering if I'm just looking for something that isn't there. My sister-in-law sent me a text yesterday asking if they could come over to swim next week, and I really want to say no, but I know she'll whine to my husband if I do. I ideally want to have a conversation with him before then, but I'm not sure if I should mention the flirting. Am I being delusional? No, girl, it's right in front of you.
What the fuck?
You're spot on. I think my coworker wants to replace me. Me and my husband are approaching our 4-year anniversary, and we have a little girl. At my job, I made friends with a coworker because she was dating one of our family friends. After a few months, they broke up. So, to show her we weren't just friends because she was dating a mutual friend, we invited her over a few times. Everything seemed great until one specific event happened, setting a weird pace for our relationship. One night, we had a party and offered for her to stay the night in our guest room so she wouldn't have to get an Uber home. The same night, we invited our new neighbors over to meet them. I'll come back to that. Anyways, everyone was pretty wasted, and I got a little too crazy and decided to call it early. I left her and my husband alone, thinking nothing about it. I trust my husband. Well, after a few hours, I woke up to my husband still not in bed. So I went looking for him. I found him laying on our floor in the living room with my coworker on the couch chatting. Something didn't seem right, so I told them they should both go to bed because me and her had to work in the morning. Next morning, my husband made breakfast for all of us, and I was feeling hungover, so I was sluggish. She was asking me questions about my husband and what he does around the house. After breakfast, I had put my daughter on the floor to walk around and play. She started to get into a junk drawer, and before I could get up, my coworker had grabbed her. She was acting very motherly to my child, but I thought it was because she has a son and was trying to lend a helping hand. A few days passed, and at work, she would talk to me about that night and would talk about my husband like they were lifelong friends, saying things like, quote, "Oh, you know how he can be," or "That's just him for you." Ew. I later went to a nail salon with my new neighbor, who pointed out that night she had noticed my coworker flirting with my husband and being too close. After hearing that, I told everything to my husband. He agreed that was weird, but he hadn't noticed anything that night but believed me and said he would distance himself from her. I invited her over a few more times, without my husband there, to see if it was just her personality to be that friendly. We had great conversations about life and all, but whenever my husband was brought into the topic, she would act different. Again, like she knew him. I invited her again to a small kickback with friends, my husband being too busy with his friends for me to worry about her. Another friend noticed as well that she would rush to my daughter before me. If my daughter cried, she'd be right there holding her and comforting her. I could barely take a step before she'd pass me to get to my daughter first. I was borderline disturbed. One part of me thought she was just helping, but another part felt something different. The last visit we had was when I asked if she'd watch my daughter for an hour. I had an emergency and I couldn't find anyone other than her. She agreed, and when I got back, everything was normal. We had another great chat about just everything going on at work and our lives when she mentioned a dream she had. She said she dreamt of her dream man. What she described to me was basically my husband. She tells me a lot at work that I have the perfect family and the prettiest little girl and how she wishes she had someone like my husband. I don't know what to do.
Stop being friends with her.
Today I fucked up by showing my mom a drawing of my sleep paralysis visitor. I get sleep paralysis. I have for the past few years, off and on. Usually every couple of months, I'll get a sleep paralysis dream. I've talked to my parents about it before. The fuck up is not that they know. The fuck up is that I decided to try drawing what I saw over my bed last night and then sent a picture to my mom. Now, my parents are hella Catholic, like homeschooled for 6 years and went to church every day Catholic. Like, when things go bad in life, my dad wholeheartedly believes it's the devil actively attacking us so we lose our faith, which explains their reaction when I showed them this picture. Cue the panicked phone call from my parents, who now believe the devil visits me in my sleep. I spent 30 minutes on the phone with them trying to find a Bible or a rosary so my mom could sleep without worrying my soul would be stolen. They want me to talk to a priest and get my house blessed and use holy water every time I enter. The next time I visit them, I may end up in an impromptu exorcism. Wish me luck. So I'm gonna pull up the picture so you can see. Why don't you describe this picture?
It is the most fingered creature you've ever seen in your entire life. At least 30 fingers. Looks like a child of the corn sort of thing. Also a lot of teeth, shark mouth, I would say. And no legs, just a sheer, like, mermaid tail. So, as a recap, mermaid tail, small child with 30 fingers plus, and I'm just noticing now, extremely what it looks like hairy armpits. Like, oh, that might be the hair coming into the armpit, but I wouldn't put it past it. Very odd thing to
Did you get it off?
look at while you're sleeping. Yeah, and just Michael Jackson, really little nose. I don't know if that's a good describing factor, and then big eyes as well. So basically, shark head, mermaid body, and 30 fingers. The fingers are just really throwing me off.